everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I'm off on yet another long run, thankfully not as painful as my 3-hour run and thankfully not quite as hilly as my recent one up in Lancashire. As you might be able to tell, I have the dog behind me, but thankfully she's just lying down at the moment, so at the point that she starts to eat things I might have to sort of go and check it out. I'm heading out with a friend and we are going to a local place called Tyntesfield, I think is how you pronounce it. It's here in Bristol. It's glorious countryside. It's one of the places that you have to drive to, so I haven't actually been there by myself, but it was kindly recommended by so many of you over on my Instagram as a place to visit here in Bristol. Did you hear that? She's making weird noises. I'm not going to do too much of a vlog intro, but I just wanted to introduce you to this week's sponsor, and actually a sponsor for over on my Instagram, who I will be talking a lot more about in due course and sharing kind of how it ties into my life so much. But for the next few months, I am going to be sponsored by Vivo Life. Vivo is a supplements and protein brand, and I've been looking for a... Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna have to take her out. Vivo are a protein and supplements brand, and I've been looking for a brand that is more sustainable for ages. It seems to be so hard to come by, and Vivo are doing so much in terms of sustainability. They are all plant-based, which definitely helps, but they also have carbon neutral delivery, and they're currently switching around from more plastic-based packaging to entirely home compostable packaging, which I swear is unheard of in the supplements industry. And I've been using their protein for a while. I wanted to test it out before sharing it with you guys, just to make sure that I really did absolutely love it, and I can tell you now it's really good. It tastes amazing. And actually one thing that has been a game changer for me is their whole shake. So most people, they tend to buy protein shakes, but for me actually one thing that I find really useful in the mornings before an early run or a long run where I don't want to be having too much food because I've got to get out, you know, early and I don't want to be getting up at like silly o'clock in the morning, having something nutritionally complete to eat or drink is quite difficult whilst not kind of overfilling yourself. Like a bowl of porridge is great, but if it's going to be sitting there in your stomach, it's quite uncomfortable when you're out on your run. So I'm going to show you, I have got the whole one here, which is one of my favourite products because I basically have a couple of scoops of that in the morning before an early run because it doesn't sit in my stomach, and because I'm mixing it with water as well, I get my hydration in there as well, which quite often early in the morning I'm a little bit dehydrated. I think most of us are. That can really affect your running as well. So I get in my hydration and I get in some food, and then I can tend to go out about an hour later or even less than an hour later, whereas when I have like a full-on meal I tend to have to wait for 2 hours. So this has been really useful. I had one of these shakes this morning as well, and it means that I don't have to get up at silly o'clock on a Sunday to go out for a long run. Or I also use them if I haven't got enough calories in the day and I need to kind of have a little bit of a snack mid-afternoon or mid-morning. Quite often after a run as well, I'll have one of those, or I will have one of their protein shakes. And let me just introduce you to their protein. I use the Perform protein, which is, well, this is the salted maca caramel flavour, which is absolutely delicious. This one's my favourite, but their vanilla one's really good as well. It's got various different types of protein in it, so it's got a really good amino acid profile, and it's got BCAAs in it as well. So if that is your vibe and you go to the gym a lot and you need sort of a collection of stuff post-workout, this is where it's at. It has all of it in, so you're not like having like 6 different supplements after your workout. And one thing that I know a lot of people struggle with vegan protein is that it can make them a bit bloated, a bit gassy, which is obviously not ideal, especially if you're running. This stuff is fermented, so it's much easier on the stomach. I mean, I don't have those sorts of problems with vegan protein, but I know a lot of people do, especially if they're switching around to vegan protein for the first time. This stuff doesn't have those sort of not so nice side effects, so I can thoroughly recommend it. Not to mention, obviously, it tastes really good, which is kind of the primary thing that I look for in a protein. It actually has to taste nice, and this, I can tell you, is delicious. So would thoroughly recommend checking that out. And the last thing that's got in it as well is turmeric. You may have noticed in some of my previous vlogs I tend to put turmeric in my morning shakes or my post-workout shakes, and that's because it's got lots of good anti-inflammatory properties. And when you're working out a lot, your body does tend to get a little bit inflamed, you know, whether that's through some micro tears in the muscles or at your joints or just like general stress. is quite inflammatory for our bodies. So taking something that has turmeric in it every day might have some benefits. If anything is going to help me a little bit, I'm gonna take it. The last one that I wanted to show you as well, because I get asked about this a lot, is rehydration. Hydration is like one of the most important things when I am out on a run. It affects your performance so much, and there are certain hydration kind of protocols that I have. So, you know, I'll take hydration out on a run, but also hydration is so important pre-run and post-run. You don't want to start your run dehydrated, as I was mentioning before, which often does happen if you go out in the morning, but also after your run you will be a little bit dehydrated, which is not a major problem in the short term, but you want to rehydrate once you get back home. So I have started to use their rehydration salts. So these are the rehydration, it's called Sustain. I like that they've all got names as well, because it kind of like does what it says on the tin basically, but these have salts in, but they've also got kind of more natural salts, like it's got coconut water in it, which, as you will probably know, it's really good for rehydration. And it's also got BCAAs in it, so if you do go out on a run or go and do your strength training, which you should all be doing by the way, which I'm definitely not doing at the moment, you can go out and you can come back and you take your BCAAs, and they have a beneficial effect on your muscles and muscle growth and all that kind of stuff. And if you're interested in that, I have written several blog posts actually on supplements and their importance, or otherwise within the industry, because obviously there are so many out there and it's kind of hard to know which ones you should take and which ones are kind of just like marketing gimmicks. But I really rate these all, and I will put my link below because I do have a 10% discount. So if you want to check them out, please do use my code. I've also got a link down there. I do get commission for any sales, but I would not be recommending this stuff if it wasn't really good, because otherwise you guys would come back to me and be like, Flora, that was crap. Horrible recommendation. Wouldn't recommend. So I really hope you love it as much as I do, and I'm so excited for them to be switching over to compostable packaging as well, because it is just a game changer within the industry. Once these guys have done that, then they will be absolutely leading the way. But already they use so many, they have like carbon neutral factories, carbon neutral delivery, everything's vegan, so they are doing really well. So definitely go and check them out. I'll put all the links down below. But without further ado, I'm gonna head out on my run, and I'll be running with my friend Amy, who I also met out in the Azores. You might have met Esme before. Amy and Esme live together here in Bristol. They recently moved from London. I kind of go on runs with both of them, but this week I'm just going on a run with Amy, and she was the one who came up with this route. So if it is good, we have her to thank. So let's go.
Hey everyone, finally out on the run. We have, wait, where are we? Tyntesfield, or as I call it, Tyntesfield. And it's very green already. We drove maybe 10 minutes out of Bristol, 15 minutes, and I'm here with Amy, who I will get to introduce herself in a min. Already off course. Brilliant. I think it's this way. That's cool. I can just... Oh, let's go see what this is. Oh yeah, that does look fun. Generally how I like to trail run, like, oh, this looks fun. Yeah, that's what I do as well. I'll go to the next checkpoint of exciting things. Oh, well. And this is why we trail run and not road run. Oh, God. Great fun. Look at this. Very good. So as I mentioned, I was going to introduce Amy. Amy, I met at the Tribe Run for Love. Can you introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Amy, I work for the Forest Stewardship Council. I also recently moved to Bristol, so have been trying to explore a lot of places by bike and now also by running.
And are you training for anything at the moment?
No, actually. And I've found it quite nice just to be able to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I do need to sign up for something. And we've been talking about adventure races.
Yes. Well, can you tell everyone what adventure races are?
So it's kind of mixed discipline, but you do kind of running, probably mountain biking, often kind of on trail, and often kayaking as well. And you have to get points. So it's more a bit like orienteering, where you're given a map, you've got to find a checkpoint, so you have to plan your route. So it's quite strategic as well.
Yeah, it's great fun. You do it as teams quite often, don't you?
Yeah, so I did it with my housemate Ezzy, who
you've met.
Right,
Everyone's met.
And we loved it. We didn't get to do the kayaking part, sadly,
because it was too stormy.
Yeah,
yeah,
a bit scary. And we'd love to go back and do more.
Yeah, so we're all gonna go out and do some as a group together at some point.
Form a team.
Should be great fun. Okay, quick question: trails or roads?
Trails.
Cycling or running?
Or cycling.
Hummus or guacamole?
Hummus. Oh, no, guacamole. Take that.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Thank you.
I forgot I made us do this little loop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the extra loop.
Yeah, that's what's happening
Great.
right now.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, cool. As you can imagine, we are completely lost, but that's fine. Amy sort of knows where we are, and I don't care either way. Yeah, exactly. Amy will not be orienteering when we make our group. Joking. Okay, good. Yeah, good old geology. She knows what she's doing with all the mapping, but it doesn't really matter. That's a great thing about trails and going places like this as well. It's just beautiful everywhere. You can kind of just take yourself where you want to go, and the whole point is having fun. So we're just saying, like, if you see a trail that you like the look of, go up it. You can always come back down, doesn't really matter. So that's kind of what we're doing. Hello. Good of you to get shelter. It's very rainy. I'm not scared of us at all. It's cute. Hi, babies. So we're just traveling into Prior's Wood. We've come out of Tyntesfield or Tyntesfield. Someone's going to have to tell me how to pronounce that because I'm absolutely butchering it. Going into Prior's Wood, which again I've never been to, but Amy, you've been here.
Yeah, we've gone to go see the bluebells.
Oh, nice. And you cycle around here, don't you?
Yeah, so we cycle through the lanes, and I've always seen the woods and wanted to explore in them more.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the things that I just obviously not on the bike, but with walking, if I'll drive somewhere, we'll take the dog for a walk, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to come back here, scout out some routes, and then come for a run. It's one of the best things to do as well, because then you don't waste a run on a place that's not worth it. But yeah, you can explore so much. So we've just found a beautiful place. We're currently dock leaving up because we just went head first into a bunch of stinging nettles. This is the problem with running around the UK at this time of year. Yeah, and also not wearing any clothes as well. It's not very useful. But then again, Amy, you've got to bear in mind, here we got stinging nettles. A lot of my viewers will have poisonous snakes, venomous snakes, bears,
We can't complain in
mountain
the UK.
lions, maybe the occasional wolf.
We're like, oh, stinging nettle.
Ow, my shoulder. So yeah, we can't really complain. But yeah, how beautiful is this? Not a bad place to stop. Let's go. Oh, so many. Yes, I know. This is the good thing about leggings on a run. And my shoulders are suffering. That was beautiful. That was like ballet. Wild raspberries.
Are they ready to eat?
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Trail snack.
Trail snacks. This is free snackage.
So delicious.
Oh my god, it's so good. There are loads of these around Bristol. Whole wild raspberry patches. Dangerous choosing them at dog wee height. But they've just been washed by the rain.
A lot of rain.
This is what I do year round. Not year round because you don't get them year round, but raspberries in summer, blackberries in autumn.
Oh, we used to always do a lot of blackberries, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're so good. Figs in autumn.
Ooh, I've never gone to get figs.
Well, you kind of have to.
No, you left no at all.
You have to know where they are. Usually hanging over people's garden walls.
My best thing when I lived in Guatemala was we had an avocado tree in our garden.
Avocado! Oh my god.
The dream.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Where have you taken us?
Just to get a good feel of the ferns.
Feels a bit like Jurassic Park or something. Just sharing some really great tips about kind of getting the motivation to run out in the rain, as on this run we've had most weathers. It's kind of oscillated between downpours and some quite nice sunshine, but most of it's been under woodland cover. And one of the great things about that is that A, it's just like really beautiful areas, but B, you don't get rained on nearly as much, and when it's windy, it's also really sheltered. So if you are struggling to find the motivation to go out when it is kind of pouring down with rain outside, Amy's top tip of the day, which is also mine, is to basically, oh my god, woo, basically find a woodland route and head out like this. Head out and try and enjoy it, because you really don't get rained on very much. Your skin's waterproof anyway, and you might find some really cool new trails like this one. The sea! We're just having a little gel break. As per usual, I'm having my Lucho Dietos, which is guava from Colombia. And that is where I ran to the other day, sort of, when I did my 3-hour run and sort of got lost out in the estuary somewhere. So it's nice to be able to see it behind us. I still have absolutely no idea where I am, but Amy
Kinda does.
kinda does. So she's put the map on her watch there, and we have been trying to stick to it as much as possible, but you know what it's like. We've got lost probably more than we've gone right, but that's fine because we're just out here to have fun. So we're just snacking now, and we were just saying how on these sort of medium length runs, we just don't take it seriously. And like, we've been going for an hour and a half and this is my first food. So you should really be taking it at 45 minutes in, maybe every half an hour then from then on in, and we just haven't done that. So suddenly I'm really hungry, and it's good to practice fueling on these shorter runs so that when you get to the real deal, you'll be fine. 17.2 kilometers done and dusted. That took us to about 2 hours. We did pause watches for our photo stoppages and all of that kind of stuff, but it's 2 hours of running and feel very pleased with it actually. We had a little bit of a hill at the end, which as you can probably tell, we went quite fast up, which is really nice because got to practice hills when tired. Like, that is my main thing, that when I'm in the centre of Bristol I don't really get. I mean, it's hilly obviously, but it's softly undulating hills. It's not like really long hills like you get, you know, in the Lake District or the Peak District or Chamonix, for example. But yeah, it was great fun, and Amy was great company as well, despite the fact that she got us wrong more than she got us right. We love it, we love it. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I don't think Amy shares her runs on her Instagram, but you will probably see her in a lot more of my training videos coming up. But thank you again for watching. Don't forget to check out Vivo. I'll be going home and having their rehydrate stuff now. We're literally just discussing the importance of hydrating post-run, run so that your next session is good, because if you don't rehydrate, your body suffers and your muscles can't restore themselves prior to your next session. So it's so important to rehydrate, not just with water, but with also electrolytes after every single run. So that is it. Check out Vivo, I'll put the link down below. Come and check me out on Instagram as well, because most of my running content is on there too. And that is it. I will see you next week. Thanks again for watching. Bye.